All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakah Kodash, which is the true name of the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, are two great kings, the gods that the King James Bible speaks of, which again, the true name of the Heavenly Father is Yahweh, and His only begotten Son, who the world in ignorance calls Christ, true name is Yahweh Shai. Second of all, I want to give the honors to my elders and apostles of Great Millstone, Elder Tahar and on down that rule and teach well. And third of all, I want to give a peace and safety to the hopeful elect out there, the brothers that push this truth, the truth of the King James Bible, and all truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the globe. All right, so I just want to do a short lesson or how alone the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai allows it to go. And I want to name the video, The King of Babylon says everything is great, but in reality is not. All right, and Lord Woods brothers can see on the screen. I just did a simple Google search for Trump. All right, and a number of articles popped up, but I want to focus on this one. All right, which is like the top news right now. I'm pretty sure our brothers out there are aware. A couple of days ago, Trump threatened if Iran didn't open up the Strait of Hormuz, all right, that they were going to attack Iran's basically attack their power grid, all right, or whatever. Um, in 48 hours, which just came and gone. Which Iran responded, basically gave them the middle finger and said, do what you got to do. All right, and if you do it, we're gonna attack key infrastructure of your allies here in the Middle East. All right, basically America and Israel's allies in the Middle East, like Saudi Arabia, the UAE, or whatever. Destroy pipelines and shit like that. All right, and today, Trump backed off. Like Lord Willis Brothers can see right here. Just put up 16 minutes ago in the AP News. It says Trump says Iran wants to make a deal, but Islamic Republic denies any talk. Right, which he lied. He said that which he's been doing that to manipulate the markets. Lie and say we're talking. They want to make a deal. They're begging to make a deal, which is really them. All right, it's really the United States government looking to make a deal. All right, but Iran, ain't with that. All right, they're not with that because they know all you're gonna do is, all right, reload and come back in like another month or so. That's all you're gonna do. So Iran's attitude is like, no, we're gonna take the fight to you now, and we're not gonna stop. All right, which last night, and I think it's still going on now. And they've been hitting Israel like crazy. All right, hitting civilian targets, hitting military bases. They've been hitting them like crazy, man. But the mainstream media, which is ran by the small hats, all right, is keeping that out of the news. But there's alternative media, all right, that's putting those reports out and putting the videos out, showing Iran striking Israel, all right. But yeah, like the title of the lesson is The King of Babylon, which today is Donald John Trump. All right, he keeps saying everything is great, everything's under control. All right, what is it? Long term, short term pain for long term gain or whatever. All right, and at the end of the deal, everything's going to be fine. But the reality is not. All right. Again, he's been him and his administration, have been saying that we're close to a deal. The war is almost over. Mainly him to manipulate the oil markets or whatever. All right, which really ain't doing shit because gas is still going up. Gas ain't going down. All right, it'll go down like 10 cent, then it jump back up 20 cent. All right, like yesterday, gas in certain places was like 370. Some places 350. So it will go down a little bit, but then it'll jump right back up. Now it's 399 again. All right, so it ain't working. It ain't working. So in all actuality, all right, in reality, all right, people here in Babylon and throughout the globe are suffering. All right, like they're saying Australia is on the about to collapse. All right, they have basically no oil left. Shells are in certain places are becoming empty. All right, and basically, them and them and certain other European nations, all right, so reportedly or are getting ready to just go ahead, and strike up a deal with Iran, which Iran laid out what they have to do on the table in order to get their shipment of oil or whatever. All right, all you got to do It's not you use US dollars and pay it in yuan, the Chinese yuan. All right, which is a devastating blow to the petrodollar. All right, so Iran is winning, man. Iran is catching major W's, man, while Babylon, aka America, is taking major L's, and they just keep lying about it. They just keep lying about it. Like again this morning he came out and said we're in talks, but he ain't giving no names of who he's talking to because it's a fucking lie. All right, and then Iran, their government or whatever is coming out saying, yeah, this dude is fucking lying, man. We ain't talking to nobody. We're not looking to talk to nobody. Ain't nothing to talk about. All right, it was straight up lying, man. All right, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter because the shit ain't working. All right, sure on you pull up on the internet. All right, pull up the price for a barrel of oil or how is the oil market is looking or the stock market is looking. You know, they're bouncing up and down. It'll go up and down, but the end result in reality is shit is just getting worse. All right, again, because gas is still going up. The prices in the grocery stores, so like the prices in the grocery stores are still going up. All right, so yeah, you know, on media, social media, and all that, he can get on there, and the government can get on there and say how great things are. But in all reality, you step outside, you see they ain't great. All right. Again, gas jumping up and down. Now again, it's by the time I get off, it'll probably be like $4, four on the head. Now it's $3.99. In certain places, in certain other places, in bigger cities and towns, all right, it's probably already $4, over $4. All right. So at the end of the day, man, this bullshit this devil's been doing for years with propaganda and all of that ain't working no more, man. All right, it ain't working no more. All right, the kingdom is coming to an end, man. All right, this Psalm chapter 58, verse I'll start at verse 2. Yea, in your heart you work wickedness. Ye weigh the violence of your hands in the earth, and that's definitely Esau. All right, which is that's what he was set up to do. All right, go all throughout the world, bringing about chaos, wars. All right, so on and so forth. Verse 3, the wicked are straight from the womb. All right, who's the wicked? It tells you in Malachi, the first chapter, it calls Esau Edom the border of wickedness. All right, so the wicked are the Edomites, the so-called white man, woman, and child. The wicked are straight from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. Right, so lying is embedded in this devil's DNA. All right, in Esau's DNA. All right, it says as soon as they be born, the Lord said they speak lies. And that's all this dude is doing, lying. But in all reality, things are effed up. And they're going to get worse, way worse. All right? Because on top of that, I didn't see what diesel's looking like today in certain areas, but that really ain't going down at all. You know, gasoline went down a little bit, but diesel is pretty much over the last few days stayed at that $5 mark. All right? And again, gas is shooting back up, so more than likely diesel's about to shoot back up, shoot up higher. Because again, diesel really didn't go down. It's like, you know, we've been saying through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, all right, starting with the elders and apostles and brothers ranking on down, and also the alternative media guys, financial experts or whatever have been saying, all right, that cost is going to get pushed down to the consumer, all right? It's going to cost more for them trucks to get to the grocery stores, and again, they're just going to pass that cost down to the consumer. They're not going to take that on the chin. They're going to pass it down to you, all right? Which people are already struggling. All right, so yeah, Psalms chapter 58, verse 3 again, the wicked are straight from the womb. Again, the wicked being the Edomites, the so-called white man, woman, and child, and they go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies, right? Speaking lies. And this devil has turned up the lie machine, all right, like crazy, lying every day, every single day. All right, but again, you know that your propaganda and all of that, and your mainstream media, big media, whatever. That shit is done, man. All right, that shit is done. All right, nobody believes that shit, man. All right, and as far as like the markets and all of that, I mean, like financial experts have been saying for some time now, they can manipulate that. But in reality, it don't really matter. Because again, even though they might show some numbers, some positive numbers, things are still bad in reality. All right, so that shit at the end of the day really don't matter what's on the internet or what the market show. All right, the only thing that matters is reality, and in reality, things are bad. Things are terrible. All right, and they're going to get way worse. All right, which is beautiful, which is good. All right, what's bad for the world is good for us. It's Nahum chapter 3, verse 4, because the multitude of whoredom of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcraft that selleth nations through her whoredom and families through her witchcraft. Right, and part of Esau's witchcraft or sorcery is that fucking TV, that witch box. All right, I like to call it sometimes. All right, pushing propaganda, basically casting spells on the masses of people, which a lot of people still are, you know, Slakia. Slakia, brothers. But yeah, we still have some of the people fooled. Yesterday at camp, we was out there, and yeah, this one Edomite woman come up, her and her, it could have been her grandkids or whatever, had came up, and one of the questions she asked us was, we against Trump? And we was like, nah, we like Trump, man, because Trump's doing everything that has to be done in order for us to get the hell out of here, for these blasphemy prophecies to be fulfilled. So, all right, we like what Trump is doing, all right, but she was like, you know, still pro-Trump. Man's running this motherfucker in the ground, man. He's running your kingdom in the ground. You still got people behind it, because you still got, you know, MAGA, which when you do the research on that word MAGA, which brothers that went into, it goes back to sorcery, all right, basically, all right, magic, which is sorcery, all right, and some people have broken out of that spell, and then some people are still, you know, still beguiled by it, all right, still beguiled by that bullshit, man, all right, but again, that ain't working no more, man, all right, them spells you cast by way of your propaganda and all of that, you know, or whatever, over the people that ain't working no more, man. People have figured you out, man. All right? People have figured out your bullshit, man. All right? And you're going down, man. You're going down hard, man. Again, it's like it, brothers. But yeah, you're going down, man. You're going down hard. You can lie and all this shit you want, keep lying and say how great everything is, manipulating the markets and all of that all you want. But in reality, you know, things are bad and they're getting worse. All right? Evils are being multiplied in the earth daily, getting worse and worse and worse. All right? And they ain't gonna get no better. All right? So with that, you know, I pray this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakah Kodash. Double honors again to my elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and safety to you brothers that push this truth and sincerity. And with that, I'm gonna say shalom. And you know, I know brothers ain't getting discouraged or whatever because he didn't do that attack. But you know, you know, by now, you know, I'm pretty sure most brothers out there, you know, if it happens, it happens. If it don't, it don't. You know, we see things moving. All right, we see things moving. And in reality, all right, things are bad. All right, we're definitely in those perilous times the Lord warned us about. So, because there's a new listener that runs across this video, you know, just came into the faith. You know, you saw that or whatever, and you got kind of discouraged. No, don't get discouraged. Because again, things are getting bad. Things are getting worse. All right, it's getting worse and worse and worse. All right, no matter how much these devils lie and they pull back on things, all right, the words of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai will be fulfilled. The will of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai will be done. All right, which we know is to ultimately destroy this place. All right, so with that, again, I want to say shalom, shalom, Salakia.